Good evening.
Welcome to meeting number 1291 for Mekong Communication Club, meeting number 497 for Dwani Toastmasters, and Lincoln meeting number 1 for both clubs. I'm sure all of you will agree with me when I say that there's no better place than Toastmasters for people to express themselves and their talent. So today, with two clubs coming together, I'm very excited to see double the talent. But before we start this meeting, I would like to set some ground rules that all the members must follow. Firstly, please enter and exit the meeting room only during applause. Secondly, please refrain from talking about topics like sex, religion, and politics. Thirdly, please do keep your phones on silent, as then it won't disturb any of the speakers who are speaking. And lastly, for those of you who are new here, the washrooms are to your right, and drinking water is right outside of the sink. Now that we've got the ground rules out of the way, I must say it's very exciting to see a lot of new faces in this audience. But that just puts a lot more pressure on me to make a good impression of my club to you guys. First impressions can be lasting depending on how good the impression actually is. My very first meeting at Mekong Communication Club was 1.5 years ago. I entered that meeting as a guest and I left that meeting as a member. And it makes me wonder, what about Mekong impressed me that much that it convinced me to join on that very same day. And after 1.5 years of being there, I can definitely say that it was the people and their authenticity. The people at Mekong made such a lasting impression on me that it changed the course of my whole life by convincing me to join this club. And I'm sure all of you guys will experience the same thing with Dwani as well. After all, the person who has led our club in the past is now leading your club as well. Speaking of this person, he is a leader, innovator, and a business storyteller. In the corporate world, he has played global leadership positions at leading companies like HP and Tata. And in the Toastmasters arena, he's had the unique privilege of being the president of both Dwani Toastmasters and Mekong Communication Club. He has been recognized as a leading thought leader across the entire Tata group, and recently he has won the Stevie Business Award for the best AI product of the year. In his leisure time, he enjoys practicing the art of business storytelling. He is a voracious reader, and as a photography enthusiast, he has conducted various workshops and exhibitions. Please join me in welcoming the president of Dwani Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Amitabha.
Shreya, for setting the tone with such energy to this meeting. Thank you so much. Wonderful job. So, first of all, please join me in welcoming our friends from Mekong Communication Club with a round of applause. Personally, for me, it's great to see my friends back here. So, warm welcome again. I'd like to thank our both VP Education, Ananya and VP Swathi, to put together such a wonderful agenda. And Shiva to reach out to me about 2 months back to spark the idea of this linkers communication meeting, and it took a while, but here we are. So with that, let me open meeting number 1291 and meeting number 497. So let me start with a little bit of history. I think we are extremely fortunate. These two clubs, Mekong Communication Club and Dwani Communication Club, I can tell you, are among the two most respected clubs in Bangalore and our entire district. And let me explain why. Mekong and Dwani have produced some of the finest leaders, some of the finest communicators, won so many laurels And some of the members have done so much service to the Toastmasters community without any formal titles or badges. Let me elaborate on that a little. For example, in the leadership arena, right from the club level leadership to the area level leadership to the district level leadership to even international Toastmasters, these two clubs have produced leaders qualitatively. At an international level, DTM Nagaraj Rao of Mukund has been on the board of governors of Toastmasters. At a district level, we have several leaders like DTM Arjun, Udanka Arjun, then DTM Nayana, who has been a division governor, DTM Subramaniam, who has been a district governor, and today, although we don't have in our midst Sai Snehal, who is an area director currently today. He is out of town, so he could not join us, but he conveys his wishes to all of us. Now, in the communication arena, we have made an equal mark. The communication arena, right from an international level to the division level to the area level, the members of both these clubs have won laurels. For example, at an international level, Toastmaster Ajay Chittaranjan had represented our district in US after winning the district level contest. Similarly, Toastmaster Arvindo Priyakari was a member both of Mukund and Money Communication Club, has been a district champion. We have other champions at a division level, area level, our current champions at an area level, Toastmaster Shiva, Toastmaster Darshana. Sanjana is not with us today, so he's the very best in the next round at the division level. So these are some of the things on the communication front that they have done. And between both these clubs, in terms of both leadership and communication, they have produced more than a dozen DTMs. It's almost a DTM factory. So I can work for that, being a DTM myself. And regardless of these titles and laurels, some of them have done a yeoman's service in the Toastmasters community. I'd like to call out two instances. DTM K Prabhakara, who is here with us today, he has mentored hundreds of Toastmasters in this entire Toastmaster community. I can say that he is one of the finest mentors in the entire Toastmaster community. By my personal experience, I've had the privilege of being his mentee. I can tell you the difference that he has made in my life. Similarly, DTM Nayana has been running the Gavel Club. It's in fact going to celebrate the 300th meeting anniversary tomorrow. And hundreds of children have had the good fortune of experiencing the magic of Toastmasters at such an early age. In fact, two of my sons, Anurag and Anubhav, have had the good fortune of being mentored by DTM Nayana. So as you can see, both these clubs have produced such tall Toastmasters. Indeed, it's a privilege for all of us to be meeting together. Toastmasters, of course, is a platform. It is for us to make the best use of this platform, and one such occasion is today. Develop some connections, spark off conversations. You never know where those connections and conversations will lead. I started my journey in Toastmasters about 12 years back with one such conversation at IIM Bangalore Toastmasters Club between myself and Vijay. So with that, little bit of an expression about the history of these two clubs, which I hope has made an impression on all of you. Let's get into the theme for today, which is impression and expression. To carry this theme forward, we have a very dedicated Toastmasters. In fact, in the last meeting, we Dwanians had a glimpse of this particular Toastmaster who attended as a guest and stole our hearts in the wonderful way in which he taught a table topic. By profession, he is an estate management consultant, and by hobby, he loves to meditate, read, and listen to music. So Toastmasters, please join me in putting your hands together and welcoming Vijay Upendra to lead this.
First impression is the best impression. How many of you agree here? Best expression is the first impression. How many of you will agree now? Thank you. Why I said this? We all have come here to improve our expressional capabilities. Impression is external. Expression is internal. Something that comes from within. How many of you agree with me? We have brain as well as mind. All of us? Any doubt in this? Brain is a hardware, mind is a software. Combination of this, the expression happens. To go deep into it, I have made a PPT, just 2 slides, so that we can improve our expressional capabilities, which is very important. Wherever we go and give a presentation or a talk, it is the audience, they should get impressed. They should carry our message. Then only the purpose of our talk or presentation is going to be achieved. Just a second. Thank you. As I said, brain and mind. Then what is brain's role inside? Why I said impression is external? Because it is formed without conscious thought. That is the reason many times we hear, I got the first impression, but the outcome of the result was totally different. Expression is feeling, words, and action. It's a combination of all these things that happens from the speaker. Our human brain is capable of process 500 to 800 words per minute. When it comes to the question of speech or speaking, audience can get the message when we reduce it to 100 or 125. That means there is a gap. Thoughts are racing like anything, whereas the delivery part is totally different. That is the reason we find this gap, we have to bridge the gap. That means we have to slow down the thought process inside so that it is synchronizing with the delivery of whatever that you want to say. This is the main object of that. Then only it is possible to be an effective speaker on the stage. Then what is to communicate? Why audience? They should listen to me as a speaker. First, give them the idea. Because people are running short of ideas. Audience, they need a fresh idea, then they carry that. Second, there are a lot of problems in the society. Give them the solutions. Then definitely they will be impressed. A gift is an idea or whatever it is, you are giving it free to the audience. That means your credibility is going to be on a different pedestal altogether. And that creates value in the mind of the audience. This is all about the mind part of it. Sorry, brain part of it. Coming to the mind, like a software, how we can use that. Tools of expression, connection, eye contact is there. Sometimes what happens, we will be invited to an unknown audience. What is the solution? may be knowing or may not be knowing me, or I may not be knowing them also as a speaker. Just ask one or two close friends to sit in a room. To begin with, look at their eye, both the sides, here and there, speak. Within few seconds or a minute, you will be very comfortable. This is one of the techniques I really practice in one of the sessions. Then narration, storytelling with body language. Any story is it possible to say without body language? Explanation, explaining tough concepts like Amitabha sir is good at AI. It requires different type of approach altogether. Persuasion. When you want to persuade the audience, give them different perspective altogether. Because when we speak to the audience, they would have understood a particular sentence or a word in a different manner. That means what is registered in their mind, that only they will understand. Give them a different perspective altogether, then the persuasion happens. Divination. Give the twists and turns, then it is possible to get a good impression from the audience. Expression again, clarity, simplicity and brevity. These are all things which mainly we need to concentrate. Then finally, scripted and unscripted. How many of you are good at scripted? How many of you are good at unscripted? How to balance it? How to balance that is a question. Even the best of the best speakers in the world have this problem. They think that they can by heart the entire script, go onto the stage, then forget 2-3 lines, then the talk, the purpose would have been defeated. It's always better the traveling inside, understand exactly what suits me better as a speaker. This is very, very important. There is no hard and fast rule that you should only use unscripted. There is, again, scripted only should be used. There is no hard and fast rule. Combination can also be done. Have a small change. Have the bullet points. You can just seeing that one point, the connectivity will happen. It's always better to have this combination method so that you will not have the fear of forgetting. These are all the things which I wanted to share with you. Now, in Toastmasters, what happens? They give the material. They don't tell us what is to be done and what is not to be done on the stage. It is left to the individual. Right? Going forward, I will give where these resources is available. Resources are available. It is there. We all know about presentation mastery, right? How many of us know presentation literacy? This is a new subject. I will give where it is available going forward today itself, so that all of you will be equipped by the end of the day. With this, we all come to Toastmasters to develop the expression capabilities, I said. Let's go to the history of Toastmasters. Toastmasters started in the 1924 by Ralph C. Spritley. According to me, probably you would have thought somewhere in the mind that expression capabilities of public should be improved. Today, we are Toastmasters movement is present in 148 countries, more than 3 lakh members, and 15,000 plus member clubs. So we too are among other them. Typical Toastmasters meeting has got 3 sessions. You can switch up. One is prepared speech, where speaker is given time to prepare and deliver a speech as per the guidelines. Second is table topic, and the table topic master will give topics randomly, and the speaker has to come and speak immediately. Third one is evaluation. The whole proceedings of the meeting is going to be evaluated. There are 3 structural things we normally follow in Toastmasters. Now, we have auxiliary role takers. To introduce auxiliary role takers, I invite Amitabha sir onto the stage.
So I'm going to be your general evaluator for today. I'm going to be the proceedings of the meeting from the beginning to the end. And to assist me in this role, we have the timer from Nikon Communication Club, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Today's theme, impression and expression, perfectly aligns with my role as the timer today. Time is one of the most powerful ways through which we express ourselves. It reflects discipline, respect, and an ability to leave a lasting impression. So it is my duty to track and ensure that we make good use of this valuable resource. Today we have 4 prepared speakers, and all of them will be getting between 5 to 7 minutes to speak. At the 5-minute mark, I'll be raising the green card. At the 6-minute mark, I'll be raising the yellow card, and at the 7-minute mark, the red card. We have 4 evaluators as well, and all of them will be getting between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be raising the green card. At 2.5 minutes, the yellow card, and at the 3-minute mark, the red card. Coming to the table topics, each speaker will get 1 to 2 minutes to speak here. At 1 minute, I'll be raising the green card. At 1.5 minutes, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, the red card. Now, a note to all speakers, beyond your stipulated time, you will also get 30 seconds to wrap up your speech. So I advise everyone to stay within the time limits, and I'll provide my report at the general evaluation.
Thank you, Madhusudan. So we have a very packed agenda with 4 speeches. So Madhusudan, we are counting on you to keep us on track on time. And I will request all our members to cooperate so that we can be on time. So next we have the accountant from Bani Toastmasters, Toastmaster Vanita.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I'll be the accountant for the day. Before I talk about my objectives, how many of you have heard, stop being that old tape recorder? It's not nice to hear, basically. So this is what I'm here for, to catch all those crutch words, those long gaps and fillers that you use, to avoid all those difficulties that the audience face in ingesting your speech. So let's all target to be absent today, not awful, with all those filler words, and I'll be back with my report when the G goes.
Next we have the Grammarian from Nikon Communication Club, Toastmaster Shivam.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian for today, I will be overseeing the use of language and taking note of the outstanding words, phrases, and quotes, as well as the not so good usages. The word of the day is impressionable, meaning to be easily affected or influenced by others. The etymology of this word is rooted in Latin, which literally means to press into. That brings me to the phrase of the day. First impressions last. It's a common saying that emphasizes that a good first impression has a lasting impact on people's perception of us. So use the word and the phrase of the day in all your forms of expression today. Just like first impressions, you don't have second chances at them. So make them count and stay tuned for the report during the evaluation session. Thank you.
For making the great impression, Shubha. Then we have listener of the day, Toastmaster Shivam from Ananya.
Hello everyone. Wisdom is the reward of a lifetime you get for listening while you would have preferred to talk. Today we have a lot of knowledge going to flow in, and I hope you all will be impressionable so you understand and listen carefully what all the speakers are saying, because I will be testing all of you and I plan on making it a game later on. So pay attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to the Toastmaster Vijay. Vijay, please over to you.
Let us begin the first session. It's a prepared speech session. The speaker is attempting level 2 project 1 of presentation mastery. I request Evaluator team Shivaprasad to read project guidelines.
Ceremonies, the speaker is attempting the Understanding Your Communication Style project. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify their primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of their style on others. Notes for the evaluator: during the completion of this project, the member responded to a questionnaire to help identify their communication style. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech about some aspect of communication styles. The member may choose to speak about their own communication style or the impact of communication styles on them. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Understanding Your Communication Style. The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to the speaker. Back to the masters.
The speaker is from a vibrant city known as Udaipur in Rajasthan. She has education MBA from SIBM Pune, currently working as a HR professional at Accenture. She has a passion for art, cherishing music and poetry. Speech title is Five Mothers. Speaker, Toastmaster Darshana.
A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today I am here to tell you a story about my 5 mothers. Yes, you heard it right. I had the privilege of being raised by 5 mothers while I was growing up. Not 1, not 2, but 5. And I know you all might be thinking, is it some weird reality show reference or what? Well, these 5 mothers were my grandmom Nani, my mother, and my 3 Masis. So while they all shared the same genes and love for me, they had a very different communication style. As different as the colors in the rainbow. And trust me, I was often caught right in the middle of this spectrum. From an early age on, I realized that the way they express themselves is very unique. For example, my Nani's aggression could turn an unripe mango into a ripe one. My mom's warmth will just give you a lot of happiness. Then came my sweetie Masi, who was the most practical person in the room. Then there was Chiru Masi, the collaborator, who would take everybody's opinion just to even decide whether to have tea or coffee in the evening. And lastly was Megha Masi, the quiet observer who would just listen to what's happening and then nod yes to whatever decision is taken. Basically, she was always okay with whatever was happening. Fast forward to the time when I was in my 12th standard. The time of teenage angst, board exams, and the most crucial question: what are you going to do in your life? So, 6 of us decided to get into a room and call it the Great Family Discussion. I knew what I wanted to do. I decided that I wanted to go to Mumbai, pursue mathematics, and complete my BSc degree. And trust me, I practiced this speech for days. But when these words were uttered in the room, the reaction was so eruptious that it was worthy of a courtroom drama. First up was Nani. Alone. Mumbai. No engineering. Who do you think is letting you go? No, you're not going. Stay at home or do engineering from a nice college. Then came my knight in the shining armor of my mother. Mummy, at least listen to her. She worked very hard and she's converted nice colleges. I think she has a plan and we all should show some faith in her. Her warmth towards me really melted everybody's heart, but not quite yet. Then came Sweetie Masi, the assertive one. Okay, let's take a practical approach here. Darshana, what are the career options after this stream that you're taking? What is the cost? How much is it versus engineering? And you really think that the career out there is good? I think you need to be very practical on these aspects and then decide. I felt like I was in a job interview at that moment. But then came the fourth one, Chinu Masi, the collaborator and the peacemaker. Okay, relax everyone. How about we take everybody's opinion here and make a list and weigh in all the pros and cons and come to a conclusion where everybody agrees, yeah, just like you do in a United Nations forum. Oof. And then finally, Megha Masi spoke. Or quite did not speak. Well, yeah, whatever you want to do, go ahead. Whatever is best for you, I support. Her passive comment was comforting as well as confusing because she almost agreed to everybody else before me. So while this discussion was going on, I had a great realization about these 5 women. That while I was raised by all 5 of them with so much love, they had a very unique way of putting their points of view up. Right? And that is something that taught me in that moment that even when they love you, they will have a different approach about what you want to do in life and a different way of communicating it. So in the middle of this chaotic collaboration, I came to my decision. And guess what? I went to Mumbai, I pursued BSc, and I learned how to calculate not just numbers, but different life's perspectives. Now when I look back, I see that even all of them 5 had a different way of communicating. You can't define a person by their communication style, right? A communication style of a person is not their personality, it's rather a tool they use to communicate. So, that really helped me understand that it is something that you can adapt with respect to the situation and not just stick to one. For example, my nanny who might seems to be a fierce protector, seemed to be a fierce person and aggressive person, was always a fierce protector. My mom's empathy taught me a lot of kindness. Sweetie Masi's assertiveness taught me how to be very practical when you approach major life decisions. Chinu Masi's collaborative nature taught me the importance of teamwork. And lastly, Megha Masi's passive approach taught me to reflect and think about the decisions that you take for yourself and always believe in your instincts. So, I learned from all these 5 women, and now I'm figuring out what my communication style is. And I realized that it's a blend of all 5. I pick the assertiveness from somebody, I pick the empathy from my mother, and then I blend in everything together and I communicate the way wherever the situation requires. So if anybody in this room ever feels overwhelmed by the way, there are so many people communicating and have a very different style, always understand that communication styles are not something as a barrier, rather they are some bridges. And you never know, a bridge like that can take you to the best version of yourself. Thank you so much.
Family togetherness develops the qualitative development inside. Wonderfully said. The next speaker is attempting level 3 elective. I request Evaluator DTM Swathi to read the project guidelines.
Mr. Table Topic Master of the Toastmasters, Radha's speech, the purpose of this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. Good luck.
The speaker is a construction technologist working at Autodesk Bengaluru. Hobbies: reading books. The speech title: What floats your boat? What floats your boat? Speaker: Toastmaster Prasad.
A few years back, I was sitting in my office, looking at an online form for a talent show organized by the company. I turned to my left and I asked the girl, "Are you participating?" She said yes. I asked her, "What are you performing?" She mentioned classical dance. I said, "Great." I turned to my right and I asked the guy the same set of questions and he mentioned he's performing music. And then he asked me back, "Are you participating as well, Raja?" in a loud voice. Now, I notice everyone is looking at me for an answer and I don't want to say I'm not participating. So I said, "Yes, I'm doing a stand-up comedy." As soon as I said that, people cheered, they showed thumbs up. One guy even patted on my back saying, "Great talent." I said, "Yes, thank you." But what they didn't know was until then, I never performed stand-up comedy in my life. And now I have accepted to perform in front of 200 people. I'm sitting there and thinking, what did I just commit to? Worrying about all the things that are about to unfold. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. 6 months prior to this incident, I was in a meeting room. And during the round of introductions, I mentioned my hobby is watching TV. Later, I realized watching TV? That is such a lazy hobby for an answer. It was the second worst answer for a hobby that day. The first one was a guy who said sleeping as his hobby. I decided I needed a meaningful hobby. But I had 3 conditions. I said I need to enjoy my hobby. I need to look forward to doing it. And it must be fulfilling. Not just fulfilling, it must be soul fulfilling. So 6 months later, when this opportunity came in the form of talent show, I said, why not try stand-up comedy? Until I try it, I will not know it. So the day came, my name was called. I went to stage with full excitement and I grabbed the mic. Then I tell my first joke. I pause. I look at the audience. Audience looking at me back. No reaction. I said, okay. Then I tell my second joke. Pin drop silence in the auditorium. Have you ever seen a deer looking at a headlight? They were looking at us like that. That day, I had like 10 jokes in my set. I was saving the best for the last. I said, no, this is not going to do well. I'm going to tell my best joke now, and I tell my third joke. That is when I realize, the more jokes I'm telling them, the more serious they are taking. I turn to my right, and I see a guy. And this guy is an upcoming stand-up comedian hired by the company who's waiting to perform next after me. I'm starting to feel bad for this guy. This is his career, and I'm setting a bad stage for him to start with. But I push on. I tell my fourth joke. One guy starts to clap, which means leave the stage. So I said thank you, and I did not look at the comedian. I went and I sat quietly. It went terrible, but I was also happy that I tried something new for my hobby. So I went back to my 3 conditions. Did I enjoy that? I said yes. Is that something that I look forward to? Maybe to an extent. Was that fulfilling? I said no. I also said I'm not going to stop searching until I find my soul-fulfilling hobby. So for the next hobby, I decided to go big. I said, I am going to be the guy who goes on a long trips in bike as a hobby. I purchased a new bike, got some riding gear, all is set. Until one day, my colleague called me. And this guy is a real rider. And he said, Raja, since you have purchased a bike, let's go on a bike trip to Mukund. I said, great. How many kilometers is it? He said, well, 250 to 300 kilometers. I said, that's great. But why don't we try like 40-50 kilometers first? As soon as I said that guy started laughing. He was laughing so hard it was hurtful. And he said these words, Raja, what are you talking about? Up and down to office is 40 kilometers. So that hobby is also gone. Now, as days passed by, my life was getting very monotonous without a hobby. and monotonous life caused stress. I was so desperate to find a hobby that is meaningful that will break this chains of monotony. I tried few more hobbies, but all in vain. That is when I joined the Toastmasters in Mekong Communication Club. And for that, I have to give the speeches, where I have to write stories. The more I wrote, the more fulfilling it became. And for the next year, I started to collect great stories, tell stories whenever I had the opportunity, and I continued writing them every single day. And this process of reading, writing, and telling those stories shattered those chains of monotony, inspired me with creativity, and I became a much happier version. As it turns out, my soul-fulfilling hobby is not stand-up comedy, it's not music, and definitely not bike riding. Ladies and gentlemen, it is storytelling. And this experience taught me that your inner happiness truly lies in things that you love to do. And do not stop searching until you find it. Find what floats your boat. If you find that, you can work on that. One day I was giving a speech and my friend was sitting in the audience. He came and said, Raja, I like to smoke and think a lot. That's my inner happiness. So that is not going to work. For some people, we can't do anything about that. Find your inner happiness and what floats your boat. With that, back to
You are deep in the humorous field. Thank you. The speaker is attending level 3 project 3. I request Evaluator DTM K Prabhakara to read the project guidelines.
Purpose statement of next project. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety to enhance a speech. Notes to the evaluator, that's me. During the completion of this project, the member spent time developing or improving his or her vocal variety. About the speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Listen for how member uses his or her voice to communicate and enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech is not a report on the content of the Understanding Vocal Variety project. Use the speech profile resource to complete your evaluation. Over to
The speaker is an adventurous and creative individual, finds joy in exploring new places, likes trekking, loves to watch sitcom, hobbies, cooking, gardening, playing badminton, reading books. His speech title is Nobody Box Me Down. Nobody Box Me Down. Kabir Das, speaker.
I was in 5th grade when my dad bought me first ever Kodak road camera. As a kid, I was passionate about photography, especially candid photography. In 2014, I came to Bangalore to pursue my master degree. And very close to my PG, there was a single screen movie theatre. And I often visited this theatre to watch the Kannada movies. That is when I developed love for cinema and cinematography. I often went to this theatre and watched multiple movies. So I was inspired by cinematography, and then I started doing small videos like short films and documentaries. When I got my first job, I bought a camera worth of 60,000 rupees on an EMI. I'm mostly involved in making the documentary films. But over the weekends, I would hop on my bike, get my camera, and roam around Bangalore to watch the beautiful photos and videos. One morning, I got a message to my phone that your first EMI towards your phone loan has been deducted. Will slash half of my salary. Then my maid came and she asked for her salary. I paid her and few other random expenses. I was left with only 1,500 rupees in my account. I was very sad. Then I left to my office and on the way, unfortunately, I jumped the signal. That is when on the other side of the road, cops caught me and including some older fines, he asked me to pay 1,500 rupees. I felt terrible. I left the bike and started walking away. Police called me, come here. I went over there and he asked, what was I doing? I said that I don't want to pay, you can have it. I don't have money to pay. He felt puzzled and pity at the same time and asked me to take back my bike without paying the fine. And warned me not to repeat the offense again. Then I was juggling between my passion and profession. I did quite a few documentaries and short films, and I spoke to directors, cinematographers. When I was juggling between my passion and profession, I took a bike ride to Kanyakumari from Bangalore, so which is around 1,500 kilometers round trip. Something changed in this trip, and I decided that I want to become a cinematographer full time. Immediately after coming back to Bangalore, I applied for India's prestigious institute, that is Film and Television Institute of India, which is also called as FTI. I went on to give the examination where around 6,000 people had applied that particular year and 300 were shortlisted on the basis of written examination. And I was called for a 5 days interview at FTI Pune campus. So first 4 days went good. They examined my storytelling skills, observation skills, some photography skills and many more. But the final day was about meeting a panel of 8 members, which consisted of Dean, HOD, few faculties, and a psychiatrist and industry veteran. So interview was done. I came back to Bangalore and I was eagerly waiting for what would be the result. And guess what? I was not selected. I reflected on what went wrong because I was hoping that I would get selected. Let me take you all back to the 5th day of my interview process. On that day morning, we had a get-together among other participants, and one person told that he is 32 years old and he has been dependent on his family from past 5 years so that he can pursue his dream. The other person told that he quit his job at Infosys and he has been working with the director who hadn't paid him in past 3 years. So many stories. After hearing this, I was taken aback. And I thought that everyone has put so many effort and struggles to get into this institute. With this mindset, I went to the interview hall where they took an interview of 30 minutes. And the final question that they asked is, Kabir, what would you do if you don't get selected today? I gave a pause and I realized that I have a lucrative job back in Bangalore, which is paying me well. If I don't get selected today, I will go back there. I told them the same thing, that I will go back to my job at Bangalore. They shared their plans among themselves and asked me to leave. That last day, Instead of getting inspired from so many stories, I actually got demotivated. Even before entering the interview hall, I had accepted defeat. My brain played tricks with me, making me think that I am not eligible for this particular institute. There is a great saying which is called as ship doesn't sink because of the water surrounding it. Ship sinks because what gets into it. From then on I decided I will not let what happens in my surrounding affect me and walk me down. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmasters.
This is what we need to observe from your story. Fantastic. The next speaker is level 2 and project 2. I request Toastmaster Urmika to read the project guidelines.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Latha is attempting her Act2P2, which is to exercise effective body language. The purpose of her project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. I wish the speaker the very best.
Speaker is Secretary in Mekong Communication Club, 20 years of industry experience. She is a skill development trainer, 10 years of experience in end-to-end event management, hobbies, traveling, reading books, music, dance and cooking. Her speech title is Masala Dosa, My Eternal Love Story. Masala Dosa, My Eternal Love Story. Speaker, Latha.
They always say, a dosa a day keeps your hunger pangs away. A dosa a day keeps your hunger pangs away. Masale dosa, masala dosa, aloo palya dosa, etc., etc., etc. This is what my favorite masala dosa is called. I met my love of my life, that is masala dosa, when I was 2 years old. That's what my father tells, that if Bangaloreans who are native Bangalore, they're born and raised Bangaloreans, will know that 20 or 30 years back, we didn't have Udupi culture. We had Shiv Sagar, Shanti Sagar and Sukh Sagar. 3 sagars every place of Bangalore. And what we used to get there? All the South Indian items, North Indian items, little bit of Indian made Chinese and one pizza. That is the 4 pieces pizza what is to get, that is to be our old Bangalore. But as a kid, if my parents ever asked me, Latha, what do you want to eat? My answer was, 1 masala dosa and 1 juice. That's done. No cribbing, no crying, nothing. This was the first time when as a 2-year-old kid, my dad takes me to a hotel and he makes me taste my love, that is masala dosa for the first time. First, he gives me a bite of the dosa, which I really don't like. But when he puts an aloo palya with that and then gives me that, yum, I felt like I have come to heaven. And that is where my love story starts. I grew up and then whenever I go out, being a South Indian by food choice, wherever I go out, I like my idli dosas, the first preference given all the time. So I always go for masala dosas. Now being a Bangalorean, I would tell that there are 4-5 hotels in and around South Bangalore which serve the best masala dosa in Bangalore. And by the way, it's masala dosa, it's not masala dosa, it's not masale dosa, nothing. It's masala dosa. The native Bangalore, what we can call masala dosa. So I just share you my experience with these hotels, what I've got to taste my love, that is my masala dosa. Cool Corner in Basurgudi, not very many people know, but it serves one of the best masala dosas in Bangalore. Whenever I go there, my order is fixed. I always say kem chutney jasti, tuppa kadi. So if I translate that, less of ghee, because he puts so much ghee that I can't eat it and give me the throat pain at the end, and more of kem chutney, the red garlic chutney what they put. Because until there is no garlic chutney, there is no masala dosa. The more garlic chutney, the more aloo palya, it's heaven. And there has to be sambar with it, but unfortunately, Cool Corner doesn't serve sambar with it. It's only 2 types of chutney with that. But when you dip your masala dosa, You dip your 3 types of chutney and you put it, cannot describe. I think my facial expressions are giving the answer to it. Then, let's go to Vidyarthi Bhava, the second place. I think everyone knows, I think almost the whole world knows what Vidyarthi Bhava is all about. And the rule there is they will not give you a full masala dosa. They give you half only. When there's a lot of rush, 100 people waiting outside the hotel, there will be only half of dosas coming there. There also the aloo palya, the dosa is so fluffy, it just melts in your mouth. Third place, Mahalakshmi Tiffin Room, that is known as MTR in Gandhi Bazar. Not the MTR what we have in Latha Estate. This is Mahalakshmi Tiffin Room known as MTR. Go there, tell the masala dosa, but give your specifications. If you don't give your specifications, you have the softer version coming in which you will not like. And tell him aloo palya extra. And tell him I want sambar. Or else the sambar doesn't come, chutney comes. That also, but that sambar is like they call Bombay palya. I don't know what does that mean, but it is more of a liquidy state of aloo palya, not the solid ones what we get. So dip that, eat it well, that also melts in your mouth. The fourth place I would recommend for masala dosa, MTR. Iconic, it doesn't need any introduction. MTR, Mabali Tiffin Rooms, near Latha. The masala dosa there stands exceptionally out, other than the other masala dosas what we get out, because of the chutney what we put on. It's not the red one, it's the green one. And the chutney what they give with that is yum, yum, yum. So go try there, these 4 types of dosas. Now you will be thinking, how can a girl love masala dosa so much? It's like when you are a reserved foodie. When I talk about reserved foodie, you are a foodie. But at the same time, you are selective about what things you want to keep eating. You don't like being experimental after some time. So I'm kind of a reserved foodie who likes what she wants to eat all the time. And I eat only those things what I like. So masala dosa is one of it. And the good thing about masala dosa is, it's available everywhere. It's not very pricey. It's very good in nutrients. It's healthy. And it's something what you can connect with. Because this is something you can even make at home. Unlike your pasta, spaghetti and pizza which you cannot make at home. This is a very simple, humble South Indian dish what you can anytime make at home, eat it, relish it, and then tell it that this is my eternal love. And I always tell, masala dosa and Latha Nahar goes together as an eternal love story. So do try dosas and always tell, as I told you in the starting, a dosa a day, keep your hunger pangs away. And if you feel like, yes, I want to have a dosa, you can join my club because I'm always ready for masala dosa anywhere in Bangalore with my aloo palya, kem chutney and lot of sambar. And with this, I give back to the MC and thank you so much.
If anyone asks me about masala dosa, I'll give you a name and telephone number to him. Now it is time for break. 10 minutes break we will take and we'll come back and start the second session. Thank you. Welcome back. The great second session, table topic session. Table topic master is a BCom and interior design graduate. Likes to play badminton, basketball, cricket, table tennis. She is a big time foodie, enjoying going treks and adventurous sports. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Welcome Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the most fun segment of the evening, the table topic session. For the benefit of the guest, a typical table topic session is where the speaker is chosen at random and given topics on the spot to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Today's table topic session is based on the theme, which is impressions and expressions. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word impression? Anybody?
Personality.
Making someone happy.
Yes, I agree with you guys. Next, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word expression?
Showing your emotions.
Anybody else?
Laugh.
Yeah, expressions.
Annoying people.
Maybe yes. You guys realize that expressions and impressions are like the different sides of the same coin. Today, as the table topic master, I challenge each of you to use a meaningful way to create an impression while expressing with confidence. Let me quickly jump into the first topic. And the first topic is a smile versus handshake. I repeat, a smile versus handshake. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Madhusudan. A smile versus handshake.
Right. So, since she's mentioned a smile versus a handshake, I would always go for a smile, because a smile is always a chosen vehicle for ambiguities, right? So, even if it's with a stranger or anyone that you find on the road, some of your friends, a smile always shows the emotion that you are welcoming the person, you want to speak with them, you are happy, you want to see them, and whatnot. So, I'd always go with a smile, but then again, a handshake is also very formal. It also shows that you have that in you where you want to network and you want to show people that, hey, look, I'm here, I can speak to you, and I'm also a formal person. So that is where it is. I think we can't draw a big line between a smile and a handshake. So I guess best of both worlds or so. Thank you.
A balanced answer, I must say. The next topic is silence is more powerful than words. Silence is more powerful than words. And this goes to Toastmaster Shubha.
As someone who's generally quiet, natured, who doesn't say a lot of words, I like to listen to other people. And I think I've learned a lot from listening, whether it's listening to someone who is just going on and on about their problems. I never get tired. Or even during a lecture, I remember once in college, it was an economics class, and this teacher was going on and on about theory of demand and supply, and you could see that half of the class was almost asleep. It was just me and this other friend who was actually paying attention to what she was saying. And suddenly she was trying to say something about, like, give an example. And she said, imagine you are a car. Suddenly. And my friend and I were the only person who could, like, listen to that. And we burst out laughing internally. So you miss these tiny snippets if you're too, if you get tired of listening. So that's one benefit of listening. So being silent opens up your ears to the sounds around you, and that's what makes it better than using words. But after coming to Toastmasters, I see the value in words as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubha. And the next topic is a strong first impression is equal to guaranteed success. A strong first impression is equal to guaranteed success. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Mukund.
What's the...
A strong first impression is equal to guaranteed success. A strong first impression is equal to guaranteed success. It's your call. That's why it's just here.
Okay, so good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and the whole bunch today. So, guest, a strong first impression is equal to guaranteed success. May not be true always because people appear to be brighter before they start speaking sometimes. That's why light travels faster than sound. So, I don't believe in that because I've seen many times that people make the first impression very impactful and over a period of time they feel a little close. But in some cases it is true, like how you. If I have to talk about a first topic where we spoke about smile and handshake, it makes a very good. I think it's very important that you have a smile on your face, especially when you're meeting some strangers, and you have a very firm handshake. Very firm handshake is very important because these days I see people don't shake hands well, so it's very important. I'm deviating from the topic, but. So, yeah, going back to the topic again is the
first impression is equal to guaranteed success.
So, since I'm running out of words, I'm trying to confuse the whole crowd, but I'm come back to the So, yeah, I mean, everything is in life is based on first impressions because you attend an interview in a college or a job, it's all based on your first impression and you try to impress him and you're hired based on your first impression. Unless some, hiring managers, they go back and check your previous organization and see how good you are. It's a small company, but yeah, first impression always wins. And if your first impression is good, it's pressure is more on you to keep that momentum going, and you have to live up to the expectations. So that's it.
Thank you for that witty take on the topic. The next topic is expressing anger improves relationships. Expressing anger improves relationship. And this topic goes to Toastmasters Saketh.
Expressing anger
improves relationships.
I'm a person who doesn't get angry. I test people's patience, and to get me angry. There are very few people with whom I get a little annoyed, and I'm very selective of that too. And with the people I care, I express a lot of mixed emotions, not specifically to anger. Because to build a relationship, it's not only anger, it's about the other emotions as well that comes into the picture, like happiness, sadness, anger, and So anger in itself doesn't build a relationship. Yes, it does test your relationship with the other person as such, but yes, I don't get angry. Easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Saketh. The next topic is expressing yourself versus impressing others. Expressing yourself versus impressing others. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Ananya.
Expressing yourself versus impressing others. Hello all, my name is Ananya and the topic for me is expressing yourself versus impressing others. I feel expressing myself is better because I can do whatever I want. But if I feel like impressing others, I feel like sometimes it will be show off. So it's better to express myself, share my feelings to others, do whatever I want, improve on my hobbies, improve on my studies, become successful in life, and so on. So I feel expressing myself is better than impressing others than to show off people I'm so great, I'm so rich. Instead, it's better to do what I do. Thank you.
Thank you for this logical argument. Makes sense. The next topic is impressions based on appearance are unavoidable. Impressions based on appearance are unavoidable. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Omkar.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So my topic is impressions based on appearance are unavoidable. So impressions based on appearance. So this can be considered in various contexts. Like this, it could be in the human relationships or in the professional relationships, like where whatever Toastmaster was mentioning about the interview scenario, where the first impression, right? Is people can take it as a positive or negative. The same thing is applicable to the. So since I come from a software development background, I just think about those scenarios. Like first impression, like ChatGPT came a couple of years back, and the world was taken by his talk, right? Like everyone got impressed with that. Although the features, there are various other tools which came after ChatGPT, which they have more rich features than that. But the first impression, the world was impressed with that. So I think that makes sense. It is first impression is unavoidable. Various things. I think that's all for now. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Omkar. The next topic is expressions can be fake. Expressions can be fake. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Praveen.
Good evening, Toastmasters. My topic is expressions can be fake. Recently, I had a opportunity. My boss has changed recently. 3-4 months back. Usually, you will not get to see that the changing boss. Your subordinates can change. So I got my boss changed, and he is the head of the organization. So as soon as he came, he was with full enthusiasm, and he told none of the people are working here, so I have to make everyone work. So suddenly he started telling, so you people are working like a functional silos. You have to work with the group. Everybody should work together, and so cross-functional work should be there. Finance should know production, and production people should know P&L, and marketing should know HR. So everything. So we got confused. So then, if everybody knows everything, and who is responsible for it? Everybody knows everything. And we understood what he is trying to do and everything. And we had one product. So I am into confectionery business in our company. So we have a product, and one product he told this is a shitty product. It's not good. It's not doing well. So why, I don't know why they have started this product. And we're just we know that. So someday this will come out, and he'll hold down, and he'll realize what he's doing. So that product, he stopped it, and he told everybody, so let us not do this product. He'll stop it. So last month we were doing MIS review. Since I'm in finance, so I was doing the MIS review. I told him, so we have stopped this product, and this much revenue has come down because of this. At least we could have continued it. If you don't like us, it was giving some revenue. If you want to change the recipe, if you want to do some changes, let us do it. It may take time. At least we could have continued, we could have got the revenue. And he is now behind the revenue, and revenue is dipping down, and he had to perform. So, because then suddenly he realized, oh, this is my problem, and I have told everybody to stop this. Then suddenly he started calling everybody, and so let us start this product again. This is how suddenly whatever you said in the beginning, that may not be true. Just you want to impress and you tell something, and that may not be the truth. Thank you.
Thank you for this humorous take on the topic.
listen to different perspectives and ideas. Hope everybody had a good time. With that, I would like to hand over the charge to them.
Good topics, good effort by all the speakers to bring their best. With this, we come to the third and final session of the day, general evaluation. Today's general evaluator is business storyteller, unique honor and privilege of being a president of both Dhani and Mekong Communication Club, recognized as a leading thought leader across entire Tata Group. Hobbies: voracious reader, photography, practices the craft of business storytelling. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome.
What a wonderful meeting it was, isn't it?
Yes.
So let's get into how it is. I think the preparation of the meeting started well before the meeting, almost 2 weeks before. You know that Ananya and Vijay and Swathi, both the VP Education, put together this agenda so that all of us could really enjoy and benefit from this meeting. And I saw it was such a rich meeting, so thank you to both of them for putting together such an excellent agenda. And in terms of the meeting setting, I think the meeting looks a very, very fitting setting for a linkers meeting. I see that we have standees of both the clubs, so it really gives a nice feeling that both the clubs are coming together, the visual feeling. Then I saw that the members from Mekong Communication Club, they are coming to a new club. So they came here almost 20 minutes before. So really, let's give a round of applause for them. Then you see that, I think there's something that we can learn from Mekong. So what they typically do is that they video record the entire meeting and then they post it on the YouTube handle. As a result of which, it serves as a very good tool for you to do a self-evaluation. You can go back to that, see how you have done, and then you can, there's nothing like seeing back deeply of your own performance on the stage. Okay, so that is something that we put on YouTube, so feel free, those who have spoken here, to go back to that recording and see how you have done. You will enrich your evaluation and you can do your self-evaluation. So that's one thing. And I saw that a photograph is also covering the entire video, so thank you for that. I look forward to your pictures. Okay, so with that, let's get into the evaluation of each of the speeches. I'll start off with the first speech that Toastmaster Darshana delivered, which will be evaluated by Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
The impression that people around you leave results in the expression that you give out in your life. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The speech delivered by Toastmaster Darshana today was exactly that. She took us through a journey of what she went through, the 5 mothers that she had in her life, and then how they impacted her communication style as well. So let me start off by telling you where I felt Darshana did very well. The structure of the speech, the opening, the body, and the conclusion. She started off by saying, I have 5 mothers. So obviously none of us have 5 mothers. So we were a bit intrigued and it did catch the audience attention. So that was a very good opening, and then the entire body flowed very, very well. I'll come to the body later on. And the conclusion with a quote about communication, saying that communication is not a barrier but a bridge. So it felt like a fitting conclusion to the speech as well. So the structure worked very well for me. And the second is coming to the body of your speech, the entire description. You started off by describing your 5 mothers, discussion about going to Mumbai to pursue further studies, and then how each of them had different styles and how it impacted you. Flowed really well, and what stood out to me in that body was the clarity that was shown in the speech. At no point did I think, what is Darshana trying to say? Because it was crystal clear. I have 5 mothers, they have this style, and it has impacted me, and I today have a style that is a combination of each of them. So the clarity was very good. The body language was extremely positive. She was walking around on stage and she was looking at the audience, which brings me to the next point, eye contact. Definitely sufficient eye contact. And most importantly, the purpose of the project, which is to speak about the impact that communication styles have had on you. She definitely spoke about communication styles in detail, about her 5 mothers and how it has had an impact on her. So, in my opinion, the project purpose was sufficiently fulfilled as well. So now, this is me being a bit nitpicky. Where could this speech have been improved? In the starting, you said you have the 5 mothers. You're speaking about your own mother, your grandmother, and then you said 3 Masi's. Right? At no point did you translate what Masi was for this audience present here. Now, I grew up watching Chota Bheem, so I know, what a Masi is. So there might be people here who might not know. So a minor translation every now and then when you use a Hindi or Kannada word can work very well. And this me being nitpicky again, there were 5 characters in the speech. You're delivering the speech on afternoon after everyone's come after lunch. So at this point, I don't remember your Masi's names very well as well. So maybe cut down on the description of the characters, but you can, maybe their names, it doesn't have to become part of the speech. But other than that, it worked very well for me. To conclude, Toastmaster Darshana, the structure worked very well. There was apparent clarity, positive body language, the eye contact was great. Your translation worked very well. Translation could have been better, and I hope that, as she said, communication helps us in building a lot more bridges in the future. So back to Sanjay.
Both the speaker and the evaluator, wonderful expression. It left a lasting impression. Congratulations. So let's move next to the speech delivered by Toastmaster Raja and evaluated by UP and Swathi.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Raja in particular. Doesn't matter what you do in life, find your inner happiness. And Raja, thank you so much for showing us how to make a boat float. There are a few things that you did really well that caught my attention right away. First is opening. Opening is what decides whether the audience will lean in and listen to you or just check out. And you did that effectively by scene setting. You took us, you transported us to the day in your office, to your office where they announced the talent show, and you brought that scene to life by enacting your colleagues using crisp dialogues. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'm singing. I'm doing this. So that just brought the scene to life, and it drew me in to the story, and it kept me glued. And another thing that segued into your speech is humor, because that is the objective of your speech. Know your sense of humor, and you define it really well. Self-deprecatory. That's called where you make fun of yourself, right? And you throughout your speech, you were self-deprecating. You didn't poke fun at others. And I just love the way you said, I said my first joke, I bombed. Second joke, I bombed. So your best efforts to express and impress failed. And that was so intriguing, interesting, and I also noticed a few audible laughs in the audience. And then what made this more effective storytelling was the language you used. It was mostly metaphorical, like you said, chain of monotony. To shatter the chain of monotony, what floats your boat, and find your inner happiness. It just made us think. However, in terms of recommendation, I have a couple. One is your rate of speaking, delivery. Right? It was kind of fast, at least for me, so just pace out a bit. Like when you said, I need to enjoy the hobby. So when the talent show came, I said, why not? So pace it out. I need to enjoy the hobby. And when the talent show came, I said, why not? Right? Pump up that energy. And also, there were instances where you could uncover more humor by the way of saying things. Like, I said, my hobby is watching TV. And the person before me said something much better. Like, eating was his hobby. Right? And the way you say it really makes a difference. And then again, conclusion, it was a little rushed and muddled. I wasn't clear whether you said your inner happiness or make your boat float. So, make that clear. Lean in and say, drive home the point. So, find your inner happiness. Find what makes your boat float. Whether it's reading, storytelling, eating a masala dosa, right? What makes your boat float? In sum, I think you had a really strong opening, good humor, and nice metaphorical language. But if you could work on your delivery and conclusion a bit, I think you will knock us dead and make a lasting impression. Thank you, Mr. Raj.
Love the way Swathi really enacts the whole evaluation. That really makes it more, there's a passion is coming out of the whole thing. And humor is one of the most difficult speeches to deliver. They really congratulate Raja. I thought he was in split, so congratulations Raja for a wonderful speech delivered. Next speech delivered by Toastmaster Kabir and evaluated by K Prabhakara.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. This speech was not evaluated for opening body control. Let me state that. It is supposed to be evaluated for vocal variety, using vocal variety to enhance the speech. Having said that, what went right with Toastmasters Kabir's speech is the volume of his voice, vocal variety. There are 6 parameters on which I am supposed to evaluate the speech: volume, vocal variety, pitch, articulation, rate, and vocal variety. 6 numbers. So I said volume and quality was super. No issues with that. Everybody could listen to it. The quality was good. When it comes to pitch, it was not varied. It was one flat. I have a suggestion for that. Articulation, there were pauses. How to overcome that, I will elaborate on that. Rate, it was kept uniform. Number of words, the rate it was delivered, it was same. Vocal variety, I would say, was lack. What went right, I have told. What could be done to improve upon is if you incorporate dialogue into the speech content, then automatically vocal variety you can bring it. He is a documentary person. Kabir? Yeah, we are hiding. I'm just. So he can act it out literally, and that brings out the dialogue. So he said, suppose in front of the panel he was being interviewed. They asked him, the way a panel member asked, he can change. What are you going to do in case you are not selected? The commanding voice. He immediately said, I have one job already there, sir. I will get over. Somehow I'll manage it. So this is the way you have to position yourself, then deliver the content from the image of the scene. The vocal variety comes out naturally. And the pitch varies, the rate can be varied, depending on one single principle I'm talking about. And somewhere in, I will say, in the icebreaker speech itself, or in Navigator, they have mentioned how to overcome nervousness. It's about articulation. And the pauses were generated there that kind of disjointed the speech. And how to overcome that is nervousness. It's mentioned somewhere in one of these 2 places. Can anybody point out that? Where have you read that? I know you will not have it, that's why I'm going to take a chance. It is mentioned in Navigator, even in Icebreaker somewhere. To overcome the nervousness, the best way they suggest in Toastmasters is that you by heart opening and conclusion. Once you initiate the talk right in front of the audience and then deliver the content from the image that you have, you are really related with the audience, and then yourself initially at the conclusion you are by heart, things will fall in place. So with this suggestion that he has to have opening body conclusion, opening and conclusion, image by delivery of the content by image, I think he will do well. And it's a matter of practice and preparation. Over to General Vijay.
The clinical evaluation and Toastmaster Kabir for relating personal story that I wonderfully connected to. Thank you so much. Next, we move to the last speech of the day, Toastmaster Latha, evaluated by Toastmaster Urmika.
It is widely remarked that 80% of what a listener perceives in a conversation is understood through body language and not the words. And today, I would like to believe that Toastmaster Latha gave her 100% to doing justice to that 80% of body language. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I think just like how she mentioned, in a finely made dosa with a finely ground batter and a tangy tomato, there are a few elements that really enriched her speech today. I found the subject very impressionable. It took me back to the time when my mom would put piping hot doshas into my plate, right? And I felt like somebody on Instagram waiting to hear recommendations of different dosa dishes. So I think you kept us hooked from the very beginning. In terms of her expressions, I found it very contagious. I found us all smiling whenever she narrated each and every incident of the dosa. And the fact that when you said yum, you had that smile on your face, that expression of wonder. And I think that was absolutely spot on. And in terms of body language, I found your presence very confident on stage. Your stance was very, you were poised, well poised. You had a very spread shoulder. And your eye contact was also around, sweeping around the room. So well done on that. But just like how you say, too much salt or too much spice on a chutney sort of mars that dosa experience, there are a few elements that you missed which would really take your speech to the next level. Firstly, I felt your purposeful movement on stage was very restricted. When I mean that, when you were narrating those 4 joints that you visited, you could have started with the first joint here, second one being Vidyarthi Bhavan here, third one FDR, fourth one here, right? So that could have been like a timeline that you had showed on stage. When you narrated that beginning with your dad where he took you to the restaurant, maybe you could have started here and then sort of moved to this part of the stage. Secondly, your gestures, right? When you mentioned the benefits of dosa, you said nutritious, when you said very healthy. So there were 4 points, so maybe using 1, 2, 3, 4, rather than just saying it in a sentence. And also when you said masala dosa plus Latha and Nahar, eternal love, you should maybe done something like this, or this to show that bond that you have, right? And finally, one technique you could have incorporated was more dialogues, because that is one way that you can actually have more gestures and more vocal variety, right? So maybe when your dad took you to the restaurant for the first time, that's a conversation between both of you. Or when you went to a place and you asked the waiter for the chutney, so maybe that conversation. Or maybe that mental voice when you are having dosa, that could have helped, right? But all in all, I think some things that were good in terms of the speech was the strong subject that you had, the expressions, the spot-on body language. Some things to work on for the next speech would be your movement, your gestures, and maybe a bit of dialogue delivery. But I think today Toastmaster Latha's speech was as tasty and eventful as a visit to my favorite joint, and I wish to hear more from the speaker.
I don't know if Latha's speech was by design or coincidence just before the snack break. So it was perfectly timed, wonderful speech, very delicious speech, and a wonderful evaluation. So now let's get into the role takers. We'll start off with the Sergeant at Arms. The Sergeant at Arms, Shreya. The Sergeant sets the tone for the meeting by elevating the energy of the meeting by a few inches. And that's exactly Toastmaster Shreya did, by bringing her energy and infecting us with all her energy. I think she did that wonderfully well. That's the single most important thing for a sergeant to do. The second thing is that this is a linkers meeting. So a little bit of a trick here is to make the members of both the clubs included. She made it very, very inclusive. For example, by telling the meeting members of both the meetings, by calling out members of both the meetings, somehow she could connect members of both the clubs, and she did that extremely well. The introduction to the president was done extremely well, and I love the touch of humor that she brought to us both in address. So I think excellent job by the sergeant. Let's give her a round of applause. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. So what I loved about Vijay Upendra is that he started his preparation for this in the last meeting itself. By attending this one Toastmasters meeting and surveying our meeting and finding out what our meeting setting is, so that it is so comfortable in the audience this time, and it really showed when he was here. Wasn't he in command of the stage?
Yes.
Wasn't he so confident? I think that comfort comes from being a little comfortable with the audience, and his natural style is also quite confident, comfortable, convincing, and I think he brought that conviction when he was really delivering his team on team. The second thing I liked about his role was the way he was engaging the audience, but every once in a while asking questions to the audience. He was engaging the audience and asking questions. Sometimes they were answered, sometimes they were not answered. It was a different thing, but he made a very good effort to engage with the audience. So that is number 2. Number 3 is the introductions that he has done. I think a very important role for a Toastmaster of the day is to really set up the speaker here. And if you do a very good introduction, by the time the speaker comes here, he is already 2 inches above the stage. Okay, so he did a thorough job of his introductions, which means that he has done his homework before coming to the meeting. Okay, so let's really take away from that. Now, what he could have done a little differently, I thought that the way in which the topic was really interesting, impression and expression. Okay, but the way in which he dealt with the topic was a little abstract. As a result of which, I found that as an audience, we were struggling to connect with the people. Because it was a little abstract. What could have made it easier to connect is to use personal stories and anecdotes and leave out the abstractions for a different occasion. Number 2 is using projector is a great way to enrich your talk, but I felt for this occasion the projector was really not required. So anything that comes between you and the audience, unless it is absolutely needed, is better kept aside. Okay. So projectors are needed. We do corporate presentations all the time, but perhaps this was not the best occasion to use a projector. And finally, the Toastmasters, I think you did a perfect job in terms of talking about the legacy of Toastmasters, but given that we do meeting after meeting, bring a little bit of creativity in which you talk about Toastmasters can make it a little more interesting. Okay, but all in all, I think a wonderful job. You felt, I think you were in charge of this stage. You did the meeting very well. So let's give a huge round of applause. So now let's move to the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Apoorva. Toastmaster Apoorva, what I like best about the way in which he did the table topic session is the clarity with which she dealt with the topics. It was a textbook example. Let me try to replay that for you. She came here, she told the topic, for example, one of the topics was strong first impressions generate success. And then she made sure she gave a small pause and repeated the topic. And then she again gave a pause so that all of us could think about the topic. And then she called the speaker. So, the result of this is that the topic is expressed with so much clarity, everyone gets it. The speaker is called after a pause so that no one knows who is going to be called out. So everyone is under pressure. At least give some thought to the topic. And then finally the speaker is called out here. It's very well done. The next is that the choice of the speakers was excellent. I found that she did her homework and made sure that the people who came here and spoke were the ones who did not get the regular speaking roles here. So that speaks to the fact that she has done her homework. Every role here requires some amount of homework. Without homework, we cannot do a good job here. And Toastmaster Apoorva seems to have done her homework very well. And finally, she aligned her topics to the theme. Okay, so I think the topics resonated very well to the theme. However, the flip side to that is that the topics were slightly, what should I say, the variety was a little bit missing. Okay, always variety adds a little more spice. So being a little more creative and bringing in more variety, that is the only thing I would say which could have taken your whole role to a slightly different level. Okay, so but all in all, I think wonderful job and Toastmaster Apoorva. Let's give a round of applause. So now let's hear it from our timer, accountant, grammarian, and listener. So may I call upon our timer, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
So here's my timer's report for today. The welcome by Sergeant Arms, the time allotted was 2 minutes, but the actual time taken was 3 minutes 8 seconds. The President's address, the time allotted was 5 minutes, the time taken was 5 minutes 48 seconds. Introduction of Toastmaster of the evening, time allotted is 1 minute, the actual time taken was 28 seconds. Coming to the Master of Ceremonies, the time allotted was 20 minutes. Toastmaster Vijay has taken 14 minutes 45 seconds. The speakers for today. The first speaker, Toastmaster Darshana, the time allotted is 5 to 7. The time taken was 6 minutes 4 seconds. The speaker's evaluator, Toastmaster Shubha, the time allotted was 2 to 3 minutes and has taken 3 minutes 17 seconds. The second speaker, Toastmaster Raja, has taken 5 minutes 48 seconds. The evaluator for Toastmaster Raja, DTM Swathi, has taken 3 minutes 45 seconds. The third speaker, Toastmaster Kabir, has taken 7 minutes 7 seconds. And the evaluator, DTM K Prabhakara, has taken 3 minutes 29 seconds. The fourth speaker, Toastmaster Latha, has taken 5 minutes 34 seconds. And the evaluator, Toastmaster Urmika, has taken 3 minutes 24 seconds. Coming to the table topic session, the time allotted was 20 minutes. The whole thing wrapped up in 16 minutes. The break was, the time allotted was 10 minutes, but it actually went on to 16 minutes 48 seconds. The table topic speakers, right? There are 7 speakers today. The first speaker, Toastmaster Madhu, me, I took 1 minute 15 seconds. The second speaker, Toastmaster Shubha, has taken 1 minute 32 seconds. The third speaker, Toastmaster Mukund, has taken 1 minute 49 seconds. The fourth speaker, Toastmaster Saketh, has taken 1 minute 6 seconds. Fifth speaker, Toastmaster Ananya, has taken 38 seconds. Then Toastmaster Omkar, you've taken 1 minute 28 seconds. And the last speaker, Toastmaster Praveen, you've taken 2 minutes 36 seconds. The general evaluation so far has taken around 12 minutes.
Done your job with precision. Only small comment I would have that since this is a linkers meeting, standards of 2 clubs could be different.
Right.
So on one hand, we don't have time allotted for some of the sections, but on the other hand, I think for Dhwani, it's a good point to consider so that we can keep our meetings on track for the non-speakers also having allotted time. So I think that's something that we can learn from. So next, may I call upon the accountant Toastmaster Vanita.
So, the common word of the day was so. And Praveen, you take the cake with the most number of so's. Darshana, you almost did perfect, but you used certain words like that, so towards the end of the speech, but then it was still fine. Raja and your evaluator, the speech was flawless without any crutch words. Latha, perfect except for your masala dosa. I mean, that was your subject, so all good with that. Apoorva, you had a few pauses, but it's acceptable because it went with the flow. Shubha, you had a couple of hours, which you can look upon. Mukund, several hours and ants. Saketh, couple of hours and Omkar, you were, Kabir and Omkar together were making the sound of that might be looked upon for the future things, yeah. And with that, I would tell the session was absent, not output, and that is
Good job, Vanita. Very nicely done. We are now more aware of crutch words. So So next, may I call upon the Grammarian, Toastmasters.
Coming to the report for today, I first list down the not so good usages and then detail out the good usages in today's meeting. So coming to the not so good usages, oftenly can just be often. Doing videos can be either taking or making videos. Share feelings to others can be share feelings with others. Now coming to the good usages. Leadership arena. Stole our hearts. Impression is external, expression is internal. Brain is hardware, mind is software. An idea is a gift given free to the audience that adds value to their minds. The purpose would have been defeated. Hard and fast rule, fear of forgetting. Stop being that old tape recorder. Wisdom is the reward you get from listening. As different as the colors in the rainbow, stuck in the spectrum. Communication is not a barrier but a bridge. Worthy of a courtroom drama. In the middle of this chaotic collaboration. Lazy hobby. A deer looking at a headlight. Break this chain of monotony. Soul fulfilling. Find your inner happiness in what floats your boat. Candid photography. Juggling between passion and profession. Shared a glance. A ship doesn't sink with the water around it, but the water inside it. A dosa a day keeps your hunger pangs away. Reserved foodie. Eternal love story. A smile is a chosen vehicle for ambiguities. Light travels faster than sound. Self-deprecating. Well poised and take the cake. And for the people who use the word and phrase of the day, the phrase of the day was used by Toastmaster Shreya, the sergeant for today. And the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Urmika. Thank you. That's
it. Very, very thorough job, Toastmaster Shubha. The only thing I would like to add is that while you identified all the good usages, but just reading them out becomes a little bit distinct. So add your perspective also in between. That would help. And finally, we have the listener Toastmaster Shivam.
So, yum. Mukund has certainly made a good first impression and first impressions last. Let me test it. I have come up with a series of questions for all of you. For each question, you will get 3 seconds, and then I will move on without answering, because I don't remember the answers of questions. Please forgive me. First question is, name the 3 tools of expression. Name 3 tools of expression. That first impression I was telling you about. They are connection, narration, explanation, persuasion, and revelation. Who did MBA in Pune?
Darshana.
What is the name of Darshana's youngest master?
Mega.
Sweetie.
Mega.
How many people participated in the great family discussion?
5.
That was a big question. Good one. 6. Which engineering stream did Darshana study?
No engineering stream.
Hey, hello, your roommate. Okay, so now you. Who works at Autodesk?
Raja.
What's the second worst hobby?
Watching TV.
Watching TV. Which bike did Raja buy?
He didn't say.
He didn't say that.
Oh, good friend. What did Kabir's father bought him in his fifth standard?
Camera.
Which camera?
Kodak camera.
Yes. Be specific. What is the full form of FTI?
Film
Development
Institute of India.
Television Institute of India.
It's also one of the oldest institutes in India. What was waiting for Kabir back in Bangalore during his 5th stay in
Job.
A well-paid job. What did Latha like with her dosa when she was a kid?
Sambar.
Juice. God. As I said. Name the 3 sagas. forgot a third one, so I didn't. Okay. Third best place for dosa in Bangalore.
No,
That's the fourth, and yes. Two things that goes together.
Garlic chutney.
Chutney and
I'm sorry, it's Latha and masala dosa. Second foodie of the days. It was mentioned in
Apoorva.
Who said it? Boy, oh boy, amazing. Who likes to listen to other people?
Shubha.
Who tried confusing the crowd, as always?
Praveen.
How many people have made Toastmasters Saketh angry?
Nobody. Very few people. Nobody.
You're the only annoyed him. He didn't say anything about being angry. What took the world by storm? What took the world by storm? ChatGPT. Correct answer. What took the world by storm? What product was stopped by Praveen's boss?
chocolate.
Confectionery.
You didn't mention.
You mentioned confectionery.
That's the industry works. I know the questions like these where they didn't mention, but I'm asking these are what suggestive questions where we try to trick you into thinking that something was there which wasn't there. Now, dash is not a barrier but a dash.
Communication. Communication.
There are two blanks.
It's not a barrier but a bridge.
Who grew up watching Chhota Bheem?
Shiva.
Who enacts their evaluation?
Swathi.
Swathi enacts her evaluation. Okay. Last question. What percentage of a speech is understood by body language?
80%.
Great, Shivam. Good job. The only suggestion I have is to look at the clock also. Okay, so good. I think we had an amazing meeting. This will be a memorable meeting for me. 4 amazing speeches, great evaluations. Every role taker did their homework and left us a lasting impression. Thank you.
Wonderful evaluation. Today, I enjoyed Linka's meeting. Because all the speakers, role takers, evaluators, they expressed distinctively. That's one thing I observed in the whole meetings conducted here. During my earlier talk, I said that I'll give some information going forward. Anyone remember that? Literacy part of it, presentation literacy. Whatever that I got, there is a source for it. That source is nothing but this book, TED Talk by Chris Anderson. In this book, he gives all the details. What should be done, what should not be done when you go onto the stage. So that you can express yourself better, thereby audience, they will have a better impression. Before handing over back to the president, I would like to say, aspire to inspire before you expire. Aspire to inspire before you expire. Back to President Shivaprasad.
Thank you, Toastmaster Upendra. That's one of the most informative meetings that I've been part of. So you've conducted it brilliantly well. And before I move further, for my people from Econ Communication Film, the ballot has been sent out, and there is an extra category called Haha Invoker. So I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory. It's you put somebody's name that made you laugh. So yes, so I've received 18 responses on the ballot. I think we have about 20 to 23 Toastmasters in the room. So before that, I'd just like to give a few remarks. Still remember approaching TTM Amitabha and yes. Swathi,
No, I was just coming.
okay. TTM Amitabha and TTM Swathi, to go ahead with this joint meeting. And I come from a club, or should I say 8-9 people here, we come from a club that meets on Monday evenings, which is an extremely rare occurrence in the district. So you look at all the clubs in the district, you will hardly find anybody meeting on Monday evenings. So if we were to have a joint meeting with any other club, it has to happen on a Saturday or a Sunday, which is when most clubs meet. So we decided on it, we went ahead with it, and we contacted people from this club. And what we found out was that a lot of our members had commitments. They were not able to attend. They had some of the other reasons, or they were busy on their weekends. And literally, my VP and I, we were scrambling to find even role takers for this meeting, let alone people to attend it. But despite that, we just laid this in front of TTM Amitabha and TTM Swathi, saying that we are struggling to find members. And even though they didn't say this explicitly, they probably meant it. That you just come here. You just come here, we will go ahead with this meeting, we will make it happen. Right? And they gave us that impression, as the theme for today goes. And when you give that sort of reassurance, sort of impression to people from another club, it makes you want to go towards them, it draws you towards them and have that joint meeting at any cost. And they sounded like amazing hosts, and just like they sounded today, they have been amazing hosts. So to our wonderful hosts here from the 20 Toastmasters, every member of the club and the president VP had also, can we have an amazing round of applause? A big thank you to every member of 20 Toastmasters for having us, hosting us at this evening. And of course to the members of my club, Mekon Communication Club. You've come here on a Saturday afternoon, on a day when your club doesn't meet, on an afternoon, and which is quite a distance from your regular meeting location. And you've taken up several roads and made this meeting happen. And I just want to say that I am extremely proud of each one of you. You have shown that it's not just in that room at Mekon Limited near South End, but you can come here to another place, adapt, change, and do these roles as well. So I must say that I'm extremely proud of you, and thank you for making this joint meeting happen this evening by coming here. It definitely means a lot to us. Right? So to the members from Mekon Limited as well. I was supposed to say Mekon Communication Club. It's been a wonderful meeting, and now since we're already, I think, running a bit late on time, I think we can go ahead and honor those people who've performed brilliantly today, the winners of today's meeting. And to help me do the honors, I'd like to request distinguished Toastmaster Amitabha to join me. Okay. So today we'll have the usual awards that we have at Mekon as well, and along with that we also have a runner-up for the best speaker as well that we'll be giving in today's meeting. So can we get started? Yes. So starting with the best role taker, TAPG, or should I say TAGL today. We had a listener, we don't have the PPE that we have at our club. So the best role taker, TAGL. The one who came here and definitely made us all think by asking brilliant questions on stage. The best role taker today goes to our listener. MTG, one's the MC, Table Topics Master, and General Evaluator. Yes, okay, this goes to a person who's made this meeting happen literally by inviting us over, and at the same time taking dual roles in today's meeting and giving us very valuable feedback on how our meetings as well as Dhwani meetings can be improved. Goes to our General Evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Amitabha. table topic speaker. Yes, so quite a thought-provoking table topic session by Toastmaster Apoorva, and there was one person in particular who came up here, spoke about his new boss who wanted everybody to know that. Our best table topic speaker for today is Toastmaster Praveen. Moving on to the best evaluator for today. Okay, this is awkward. I don't know how I should say this. It goes to the person who's grown up watching Chhota Bheem. Best evaluator for today, Toastmasters. And the best speaker. Best speaker for today. Latha. Yes, Latha's speech incredible about dosas. The best speaker for today is about someone who searched for his soul-fulfilling hobby and ended up discovering that it was storytelling. It was Toastmaster Raj. Now we have a runner-up as well for the best speaker. Do we have different ribbon for that? Okay, nice. So the runner-up for the best speaker, someone who has been blessed with 5 mothers and inherited her communication style from them, goes to Toastmaster Darshana. And now we also have the haha invoker. A lot of laughs in today's meeting definitely made it memorable and enjoyable. But we have a clear winner here today who probably has been given in 3 different versions. Some of them have typed his full name, some of them his half name, some of them with a TM. But he's clearly the best haha invoker for today. Again, it goes to the person who spoke about his soul-fulfilling hobby. Toastmaster Raj. Hearty congratulations to all the winners, and on behalf of the Mekon Communication Club, thank the people from Dhoni Toastmasters. You have left a lasting impression. We have to carry this in our hearts. And I'm hoping we have given you a similar impression as well. So with that, I close meeting number 1291 and 497.